A joke, and I don't know if it's a joke, I think he's trying to tell me something, but he often makes the joke that I am keeping them on their toes and keeping them running around. But I am grateful that when I say to them, I'm new in the sector, and one thing about me is that I don't like to not know what I don't know. I always want to be humble enough to ask and learn, and then courageous enough to take the decisions that need to be taken from there. But it's important to start at asking and learning first. And that's why it was important for me to say I want to go listen and learn. Not just from the DBE and the very wonderful PowerPoint presentations. The DBE loves the PowerPoint presentation, I'll have you know. But not from them only, but I wanted to go to the provinces so I can learn and hear for myself. Because colleagues, you can't actually understand the system unless you see it in action. Because there are things you may understand theoretically, but unless you see it in action, you will never quite understand it. So I do want to say thank you to the MECs for welcoming me around the country, and to the DBE for buying into my vision of saying, let's go out there. And to the DG, and you know, he said, I'm not going alone. I'm going to bring my team along with, because the DGGs, the chief directors too, need to see the system in action. Because sometimes it helps having somebody who's new, and having, the DM often says this to me and says, even though she's been in the sector for a very long time, she's enjoying having somebody who's got a new fresh eyes, because now she's also just, you know, reviewing things for the first time. So that's really the point of the learning and listening to it. It's been a grilling several weeks, but I'm very, very excited because I think I've been enriched a lot more now than I was when we first began. It's also been important, particularly colleagues, as we are dealing with the sector that is under a lot of pressure. It's been good for me to come and interact, particularly with leaders in the province. So whether it is directors, chief directors, district directors, principals, SGBs, it's been really important for me to interact with you directly, because I know that the sector is under tremendous amount of pressure. And the pressures that we are facing have been years in the making. Many of you have been, you know, robbing Peter to pay Pauline for many, many years. And now it's becoming to the point where Pauline no longer can be paid. And, you know, she is knocking down on your doors and being a lakasha in your homes. So that is where we are at now. And so I think it's important when a sector is under pressure in that way, that you hear from your leadership what is to be done. And the kind of challenges that we are facing, particularly the financial ones, as I said, have been years have been coming down the track for many years. But I want to assure you that, number one, in DBE, or at least in our leadership with Dr. Mhaule and I, would have loved to have been here, I want to assure the province and everyone in this room that in us you have an ally. People who will make the case for you as a province when it matters. Because we understand that the delivery of education doesn't happen at a national level. It doesn't happen at a DBE level. We set the norms and standards, but it is all of you who have to make sure that LTSM material is delivered. We have to make sure that children are getting a nutritious meal a day. We have to make sure that you are protecting learning and teaching time. We have to make sure that you retain your #1 spots as a province, achieving your NSC results. All of that is the work that you do. And the thing that we can do, and the best that we can do, is support you in getting that job done. And so as difficult as these times are, and as challenging as these times are, I want you to know that in us you have an ally that is trying to create an environment that is conducive enough for you to be able to do your job. Because